Hey guys, Deborah the Paleoista here, and today we're gonna let Ray pick from the cup. So we've only got one yellow stick left.
One yellow stick. Well, I guess I'll pick the yellow stick.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see.
Birthday.
Birthday cake.
Alright, so we're gonna be making a birthday cake. This kind of works out pretty good because tonight's your pizza movie night, so that can be your dessert.
That will be great. I would love to eat your birthday cake for my dessert.
I hope it turns out good.
You know something
We've never made this before.
You know something else?
What?
We still have a pint of ice cream that is left over, so you could have cake and ice cream.
Oh.
Or maybe ice cream on the cake.
But yeah, like she said, we're doing a paleo birthday cake recipe experiment, and it's always fun when we do our paleo experiments.
Yeah, this is a recipe that I got in a book that I have not used at all.
That's right.
I haven't done a single. Lydia gave it to me for Christmas last year.
So we're excited and looking forward to making the birthday cake.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. So we'll see you in a little bit.
See you then.
So we are here to make cake. I did not have any kind of dessert on my birthday except for a little bit of chocolate, because we usually only have like special dessert maybe once every couple of weeks. So I wanted to have my special dessert sometime this week, so I put that on one of the sticks and put it in there so we could do a video. So this is, I have my lovely helper Lydia here.
Hi.
We're going to be making a cake out of Danielle Walker's Against All Grain Celebrations. Lydia got this book for me for Christmas last year, and this is a nut-free yellow cake. So we're going to try this. We haven't tried this recipe. Don't know if it's going to be any good, but I'm sure it will be because I love all of her recipes. We've preheated the oven to 325. We've greased our pans. She says to have 6 by 3 inch cake pans, but I only have 8 by 2s, so it shouldn't be that big of a difference. We have greased these pans and put a round piece of parchment paper that we cut to size in the bottom of both. So it's going to be a 2-layer cake. We have our mixing bowl. We have a 1/4 cup of maple syrup.
Half a cup of honey. 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract.
1½ teaspoons of lemon juice, 1/3 cup of coconut oil. She calls for palm shortening. That's not necessarily expensive. I prefer to use coconut oil. You can also use butter if you don't have dairy problems or ghee. 4 eggs separated and at room temperature, plus 3 egg yolks.
Salt.
1/2 teaspoon of salt.
Sea salt.
3/4 cups of coconut flour and 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda. So let's get started. Our first step is going to be to beat our egg whites until soft peaks form. So we whip the egg whites until soft peaks form, and it says put it in a bowl and set it aside. So we do that. You want to tell me what goes in it?
Palm shortening.
Okay, next goes in our shortening, or coconut oil in our case.
Next is honey.
Honey. What's next?
Maple syrup.
Maple syrup. Okay.
vanilla,
Vanilla. Okay.
and lemon juice.
Lemon juice.
On medium-high speed for 1 minute.
Alright, so this goes back into, it says to change your attachment to a beater attachment and do it for 1 minute. So, that's what that looks like. What's next, Lydia?
Add the 7 yolks and beat again for 30 seconds.
Alright, 7 yolks.
For 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Yolks added. What's next?
Next, we add the coconut flour,
Coconut flour,
baking soda,
baking soda,
and salt.
salt.
Beat again for 30 seconds or until well incorporated.
Beat again for 30 seconds. It's time to fold in the egg whites.
They just float out. You gotta gently do this until there are no visible streaks of white.
Alright. What's next?
Divide the batter between the 2 pans.
So I can definitely see why she would say a 6x3 cake pan, because it is very shallow. It will poof up because it's got baking soda, lemon, and the egg whites in it. But it's still probably going to be pretty thin. Alright, so we're going to put this in the oven for 25 minutes.
And we're gonna test it with a tape.
We have half a cup of water in our mixing bowl, half a cup of water in a saucepan, 2 cups coconut oil, again it called for palm shortening, 6 ounces of dark chocolate melted, and now it is getting close to room temperature, a pinch of salt, 6 tablespoons of, I'm using tapioca flour. It calls for arrowroot, but they're pretty much 1-to-1 exchange. 4.5 teaspoons.
4.5 teaspoons of unflavored gelatin powder.
4.5 teaspoons unflavored gelatin powder. Spoons. A cup of honey.
2 teaspoons of vanilla extract.
2 teaspoons vanilla. Alright, so what do we do first, Lydia? Well, first we gotta check on this cake.
I'll get the toothpick.
just in time to see this. We're going to put these cakes on a wire rack to cool. It says for an hour. Alright, we're going to let that cool for an hour before we take it out of the cake pans.
Yay.
So what are we doing here with this icing?
Alright. We're going to place half a cup of water.
Half a cup of water in the bowl.
Sprinkle the gelatin.
Gelatin.
In it, and I'll attach the whisk to the stand mixer.
Well, I think it says allow to bloom.
That does it? Yes.
For 10 minutes.
Allow to bloom for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Glad you caught that, because I sure did.
So sprinkle the gelatin on the water and allow to bloom for 10 minutes.
Alright, we've got the half a cup of water in there.
Half a cup of water in our saucepan.
And the honey. Bring to a boil over medium-high heat. And
Alright, medium high.
then we'll move it to a simmer for 12 to 15 minutes. And occasionally until a candy thermometer reads 240. I'll get out
Alright.
the thermometer.
Okay, so we're turning this down. Lydia's getting my candy thermometer because I forgot to get it.
I thought it was occasionally.
Well, right now it's like it about got ahead of me. I wasn't paying great attention. Alright. So what are we looking for?
240.
240.
Very important.
Alright, you want to make sure that candy thermometers never touch the bottom because that'll give you a false reading.
Yeah.
Our honey and water is almost at 240. Once it gets to 240, I have the KitchenAid set up with the gelatin and water in it. It has bloomed. We're going to turn it on low and we're going to slowly pour this in. If you watched the Hogfather video and you saw us make marshmallows, it's going to be that same procedure. We're going to pour it in real slow on low and then turn it up and let it go on medium high for about 8 to 10 minutes. So it's going to start off like marshmallow and then we'll be adding the rest of the stuff to it. So we're at 240. I'm going to turn this off and we're going over to the KitchenAid. It is now fluffy. We're gonna add our tapioca, our salt, our vanilla, and our oil. And we're going to beat this again for about 3 minutes, and then we'll fold in our chocolate. Alright, this is our icing. It's a little sticky. If you're gonna do vanilla, it would be done. Hi, baby.
Hi.
And the lighter the honey is, the lighter your icing will be, but our honey is kind of dark, so we're going to make this chocolate by adding in our melted dark chocolate. And again, this comes from the exact same recipe book. It's just a couple of pages after the cake. So we're going to fold this in. Got my cake plate. It's very pretty. There's roses. I love roses.
Rosie.
I'm going to put a little bit in the center to hold our cake.
Okay. Oh, it's heavenly.
One layer.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Oh, it's so gorgeous.
It's been so long since I've had like an actual honest to goodness cake with honest to goodness icing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like a cake with like we've tried making cake before and we put fruit in it and then it ended up a little mushy. It was still really good, but the fruit made it kind of mush. This is gonna be a really good cake. A proper birthday cake. Proper birthday cake icing. Yeah, it's like proper cake. Cause I was like have 2 layers and like put icing on one layer, slap another layer on top. It's layer cake. Layer cake. Oh, Sebastian Pichon. Oh, it's so beautiful. Should I go get some for Victor to taste? Nah. I'm gonna do that. Can I?
You can tell him to come here.
Okay. It's gonna be drowning nice.
Yes.
That's alright. To be honest, back when we had like cake, normal people cake, the icing was my favorite part. It's magical. Yes. I want to taste the magic. May not be very tall.
Happy birthday to me. Victor, you want to come taste this cake?
Victor, we're doing a cake tasting.
For everyone.
Okay.
Almost at a cake tasting.
There's the cake, 2 layers, icing.
Oh, that's a happy face you made. Are you crying? It's so good.
I think I'm gonna cry, so good.
This is so magical.
Try that piece here.
Mama, it's beautiful.
Cake.
This cake
That's really
most
good
definitely
cake.
is not a lie.
Alright,
Mm.
so we're going
Oh my
to
gosh.
enjoy our pizza movie night, have our own slice of cake, send a couple of these pieces of cake up to my mom. You're welcome. This is divine. And just enjoy the rest of our night.
Woohoo!
Watch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 yet again,
Yeah.
because it's awesome. And don't forget to subscribe, because you're not going to want to miss a minute of this month. We've got so much planned, and we're having so much fun and eating so much good food.
Yes.
Can I have another bite?
Yeah.
Me too.
Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. Like I said, you're not going to want to miss a minute of this month. We are having so much fun and eating so much good food and just making so many fun things, and don't miss it. It's too much. You don't want to miss a minute of it. Comments down below, like the video, share it with your friends so that they won't miss a minute of it. And we'll see you in the next video.
See you then.
Bye. We're being so, she's so sad. Oh no. Oh no. It's like when she was a baby. And I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna show you pitching a fit, Lydia Ray. And she'd be like,
Hey, I made a cool thing. Look, this is an Aperture Science weighted companion cube from Portal.
hiya. Sticking your tongue out of me.
I'm gonna
That took so bad.
I'm gonna steal you.
Okay. Whew.
Right?
I already
So we
made a
can-
birthday cake.
That cake is a lie.
That cake is alive.
How dare you insult me?
Our first step is going to be to beat our egg yolks.
Wait. Worry about that?
You got something on your eye?
Yeah, on the eye. It's smoking. Not my eyeball. My eyeball is not smoking.
For a second there,
I figured you meant the eye of the
I was
stove.
like, oh god, your eyeball. I was very concerned about the eyeball. I know I'm dumb. You don't have to tell me.
You're not dumb, you're literal.